Yes, thank you. I know you're a very good neighbor and friend of this community. Your reputation precedes you. Any thoughts that you have? Honestly, you haven't kept my eye on the time. Jen, how are you doing with the time?
Kathy, how can we support the Afghan peace volunteers?
Well, they'll be very pleased to know that you asked that question. They are visionaries. They've done things like buy leather at the marketplace, fold it into cell phone pouch-length pockets, and sew up the sides, and then inscribe the Dari word for peace, so, on each one, and give those to kids from a neighboring province that are supposed to be their enemies. They've arranged walks where they walk interethnically, which is simply never done, especially not by young people who are usually never heard from, along the streets of Kabul. And right now they're living interethnically in Kabul, and they've got a tutoring program going for retired street vendor kids whom they've convinced to stop selling their wares inside the market, congested market streets, which often involves begging as well, and instead enroll in school and come to the Afghan Peace Volunteer home for tutoring after school every day. And then they play volleyball for a while. So that's a very happy thing. Boys and girls are coming. And they're working on a program so that the moms, who are quite desperate, mother after mother told me in this last trip that she thought she was losing her mind and going mad. So they're working on a tailoring program so that these women can become seamstresses. But the big thing, in answer to your question, is so easy, light a candle. They're very aware that 2 million people have died in Afghanistan over these 4 decades of warfare. 2 million people have been killed. But rather than dwell on what might occasion cause for retaliation or revenge, they're launching a campaign called 2 Million Friends for Peace. And they want to reach out and form 2 million friends. That's a lot of friends. And on December 10th, International Human Rights Day, Marion McGuire will join them in Kabul, and Ann Wright and John Deere and a number of other people. And they'll call on people all around the world to join them in a very simple act. The internationals will be invited to light a candle and just have a candlelight vigil. Maybe invite friends to come together. Maybe you have some schools in the area that would do it. It doesn't have to be at a particular time. It could even be December 9th or 10th. And then they will call on the United Nations to broker a ceasefire, believing that the UN would be the best entity to try to call on all the warring parties to lay down their weapons. So if you could really use observance of International Human Rights Day on December 10th as a time to gather a group together, but let us know in advance. The website is being formed, or you could just send an email message and we'll keep a database of voices. To light a candle is part of the 2 Million Friends campaign. If you're interested to possibly travel to Afghanistan, that's a conversation that we could certainly have. It is a war zone, and we're very careful of not wanting to send people into a situation that might be way, way, way too dangerous. We have been trying to help sustain the apartment that's being rented in Kabul, and the corruption is so extreme there that everybody tries to take what they can for themselves. These kids are quite an exception. That's also a way to be of help. And they've been really pleased to get English language materials and mathematics materials and certain films that have been dubbed into Dari. They've got quite a learning center going on.
Terry and I were just in an American veteran. Very happy to be here. I wonder if you do the Pledge of Allegiance before you go off to work. Because I truly believe the Iraqi people should also know the Pledge of Allegiance. Because it's a beautiful, beautiful pledge. You know, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. A lot of people don't ask to be there, but they're there. You know, if they're Christian people, they would probably live safer life. Seriously. A lot of people in general don't have a good life if they're not Christian either. Good to see them doing a good job. Keep up your work. Thank you.
Thank you. I wonder if you might know that Francis went to visit the Sultan way back in the 13th century during the war. And actually, he got roughed up quite a bit as he was trying to make his way to visit the head of Islam in that area, the Sultan. But the Sultan eventually said, you know, they bring that man to me, and they exchanged gifts. It's a story that has touched many people deeply. And when I was in Iraq, just before the 2003 war began, I learned that Tariq Aziz, the Deputy Prime Minister of Iraq, somebody who was responsible for a lot of bloodshed, there's no way around that, but somebody who had also helped to make sure that the various UN agencies could stay and at least fend off some of the suffering and disaster that was going on in Iraq under economic sanctions. Tariq Aziz is now in a prison and awaiting execution. But anyway, I learned that Tariq Aziz was going to Assisi before the war started. And so Jerry Zawada, a Franciscan priest, had given me a very scholarly, erudite document about this meeting between Francis and the Sultan. And so I called someone who I was pretty sure could get this document to Tariq Aziz, and I said, ask him to read this, okay? And Tariq Aziz sent back a uniformed guy with a red hat and several epaulets, and he said very formally to me, I'm giving this back to you. A copy of it was made, and His Excellency the Deputy Prime Minister Tariq Aziz wants you to know that he will read every word of it. So I said, thank you. And the monks in Assisi said that Tariq Aziz spent the night on his knees inside a chapel dedicated to Francis. So, you know, we can't always know the possibilities for remorse and forgiveness and reconciliation. And the reality that Francis and Clare are still working their particular wisdom through our communities. But I guess it requires a kind of an openness.
It's working now.
Oh, hooray. Anyone else? Well, maybe I could say that if you come to Chicago, you'd be so welcome to come and visit us. We're kind of like a mom and pop store version of peace movement organizing. We live where we work, and we try to live simply. We have been really fortunate to sort of stick together with Voices since 1996, when Chuck Welty came to Chicago and said, look, either say you're not really going to do anything about these economic sanctions, or say you're serious about it and let's get something going now. And I swear we didn't leave the kitchen table until we had written a document that 8 of us signed on to start Voices in the Wilderness. And so we're still there now as Voices for Creative Nonviolence, and if you came by, you'd be most welcome to visit us. I feel very, very fortunate to be here in this area, and I know that the Vets for Peace are going to be hosting the Windows and Mirror display in September, so I might get a chance to come back and be a part of that. But I especially want to encourage all of us to keep our eyes on nuns on the bus, and let that be a moment of celebration. There's something almost pixie-like in the decision about the title and the way that they're going about that. And I think with gratitude always comes challenge. And so challenging ourselves to really be the inheritors of what's been taught to us so beautifully from the time of Francis and Clare to the present, and always as part of the gospel call to love one another. Thank you.
I just wanted to say that most of the peace movements that I run into these days are older people. How can we, got any suggestions how we can get the younger people?
Well, you know, the Occupy movement, this idea of 99% in one, in 12 weeks was able to circulate a logo that got people thinking about economic distribution and questions of fairness in ways that no one else had accomplished, after decades and decades and decades of trying to communicate. So I have a lot of time for the Occupy movement. I think that there's a globalized movement that may not be the one that's really going to get us over at the top in terms of dealing with the military-industrial complex and trying to convince captains of industry that maybe we don't want to keep on producing more and more weapons and jobs that are related to basically killing and destruction. There might be another movement, a younger movement coming behind that. But this is a time when I think we are seeing globally many, many, many young people asserting themselves with those indignados in Barcelona and Madrid, with a caravan of peace coming out of Mexico, led by a man named Javier Sicilia, a beloved poet. They'll be coming through the Midwest and up to Chicago in August. There's a woman who's sometimes called Comandante Camila in Chile, and she and thousands, 75,000 high schoolers in Chile are objecting to the high cost of education. They're sitting in their classrooms, and they've done this for 6 months. So I think the jury's out on the internet to some extent, because clicativism is not going to make us more active. We're just going to be sitting in front of a computer clicking things. But the internet does connect people globally in ways that are kind of fresh and new and exciting. So I'm heartened by what I see amongst a lot of the young people, and keep going to the high schools. It's just remarkable how a lot of the high schoolers are sitting next to one another, coming from very, very different backgrounds in life in areas of Chicago, and maybe even in some areas here where refugee populations have moved in. And I think they're starting to get the idea that resources have not been distributed fairly, and that the greatest threat we all face is the threat of what we're doing to our own environment. An extra thank you to those who've sung so beautifully for us. It's been great to hear the songs that you chose, and I know we've got some more songs to sing. And I certainly want to say again my deepest thanks for a chance to live up to the challenge of this award, and also to be able to hang this on our doorstep. Thank you.
Franciscans have a very special blessing that we like to do, and I ask you to join in with us if you can. It's in the program. It's the blessing of St. Clare.